Welcome to the Lynette Zang YouTube channel, where we support community and sound money globally. Now, we have to build this channel as quickly as we can. So please do us a favor and go down there and click subscribe and hit that bell next to it. So we'll let you know when we're posting things, and we're posting a lot of important information for you. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the energy sector, because with everything going digital, they are counting on an aging grid that if you don't hold money outside of that system, could be a little problem for you. So let's just dive right in, because the global energy crisis is the first of many in the clean power era, as they're trying even to transition this system into a system that does not, or a network that does not currently exist. And we're seeing a lot of that happening with the all electric cars. Personally, I have a hybrid and I do like it, but I don't have an all electric cars, and they're kind of discovering that, well, maybe that's not such a great area. But regardless of that, the reality is the grid is not set up to handle the level of energy that's being distributed. The next several decades could see more periods of energy-driven inflation, fuel shortages, and lost economic growth, as electricity supplies are left vulnerable to shocks. Do you think we've seen any energy-driven inflation yet? And maybe it's pulled back a little bit for a moment, but do you think that could escalate again? The electricity supplies are left vulnerable to shocks. What shock could occur where we just don't have any electricity for blocks of time? I mean, this is happening in a lot of countries, including parts of the U.S. We'll talk more about that. But the richest economies are also undergoing one of the most ambitious overhauls of their power systems since the dawn of the electric age, with no easy way to store the energy generated from renewable sources. And we've talked actually quite a bit about wind, about solar. We'll talk more about it. But what are you going to do to make sure that your freezers or refrigerators still can go on, that you still have sound money that is outside of the system, not reliant upon energy to access? So this is really critical, an important issue for you to get security in, because unpredictable power surges threaten the U.S. grid and your home. So you might think, well, this is only in India, or, oh, this is only in Africa. No. This is also in the U.S. The U.S. power grid is struggling to maintain an even flow of electricity and putting homes at risk. Is your home at risk? There are different sources that you can use to make sure you're getting an even flow. But the point that I want to make here is that nobody is immune, and you need to take action. Stress on the nation's electric grids is accelerating at an unprecedented clip. Demand is climbing just as aging infrastructure strains under the massive overhaul needed to adapt to renewable energy. This convergence is making it harder to maintain safe, reliable power quality, and some regulators and utilities aren't tracking the problem. So I think it's important that you track the problem. What do you think? You want to make sure that you have a reliable source of energy, and you're probably going to have to just do that on your own. Because when we look at the states that are seeing increases in utility outages, the darker the color orange, the more outages they're having. So if you're looking at like Idaho up here, wow, 250% increase in utility outages, as well as, Texas. We've known about Texas and California. Those are more well known. And Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and even in Rhode Island. Okay. But you can see that this is a growing threat. That is why it is so critical for two things. Number one, to have your own source of energy. It's why I was so keen, because actually putting in solar was the first thing I did when I bought this property back in 2010. And the reality is, for me, this is not true for many people, but for me, it was a big fat fail. It really never worked right. Don't expect it to ever work right. What have you. But my property, my bug out location is completely off grid. Yes, we have some natural gas backup, but it is completely off grid. So if the grid goes down here, I have a place to go and a vehicle that can get me there that is not dependent upon electricity. You also don't want your money dependent upon electricity. And that's going to be a bit of a problem, since that's the way the system is set up. That's why it's so critically important for you to hold gold and silver outside of the system completely. Rising electricity use, the digitization of the economy, and the complete overhaul of grids taking place across the country amid the energy transition are stressing the electric system to an extreme, making it harder to control power quality and ensure its reliability. And quite honestly, now is the time to prepare. Yes, I am a very proud prepper. Did I ever in my previous life think that I would have to do this? No, of course not. Just like most people don't think that they have to do this. But what are you looking at? You're looking at increased utility outages. What are you going to do about it? Because quite frankly, you gotta do something. Food, water, energy, security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter. Please, please, please get it done. We're here to support your efforts. We're here to make sure that you understand what's happening. So let us know, because if you want to support us, well, give us a thumbs up and like it. Leave us a comment. That creates activity that the algorithms pick up. But share, share, share. It is critically important. How many times can you be lied to when you do not know the truth? My very favorite question. But the real way to show your support is for you to subscribe. Hit that subscription button. Hit that bell next to it. We're putting out a lot of phenomenal content, and wait until you see what we have in store for you. This is only going to get better and better, because quite honestly, together, we can make a positive difference. So until next we meet, please be safe out there. Bye-bye.